Hello, welcome. We're doing a reading for Aquarius right now for 2023. It's kind of like a New Year's tradition to do kind of an initial reading, what you can expect coming up in 2023. Expectations is a big deal. And Aquarius energy, as I'm kind of tuning in, I'm feeling a real connection with that word expectation, expecting, what you can expect. Something about your expectations. It's a general message for you. If you are looking for kind of an overall message for the entire year, we might get it, but we might get something of a little piece. And as in the Aries reading, there's something about there being many different sources of information for you. I sense that that's still the same thing for you as well. It's tied into your expectation for some reason. There's nothing wrong with your expectation, but in the Five of Cups right away, I do see that you've been disappointed. And so maybe your expectations are running on a bit of a, it's kind of that running on empty feeling, like you're running on fumes at this point, like being disappointed. There's 4 cups down in this deck, which is a really interesting thing to see. Normally it's 3 cups that are down and 2 that remain. This is an extra disappointed feeling. There's grief and loss involved in 5 of Cups as well. You may have lost a few friends or a few sources of guidance or a few even family member in this past year in 2022. So, or there's been a general sense of the loss feeling or the disappointment. There's a disappointment in a loss. There's something, what I'm imagining right away, the experience I had when my grandmother passed away. She was suffering so much that I experienced less disappointment, I think. That her passing was kind of a little bit more natural. Like it felt like a relief. Not so much, of course, there's a little bit of me not wanting to watch her suffer. But also, for her, like, there's something about death here that's really important, like actually physical death. There's maybe a disappointing death. This might be for somebody in particular. My apologies, if I'm addressing a topic that's a little bit raw and sensitive still. So, if you don't want to talk about it right now, I just invite you to kind of click off the reading and come back in a different time. We're going to talk about a disappointing loss. Or at least reference it a little bit. This is someone who died too soon, too early. Someone who left too early. Died is a big word, I guess. But I really do sense there's maybe somebody who's going to watch this reading or who's watching this reading now who experienced in 2022 very recently. This would be like the death of a child or the death of your child. My goodness, I can't even. So the energy is pretty strong here to speak of the 5 of Cups a lot differently than I normally do. So 5 of Cups kind of can strike us as somebody who's not appreciating what they still have in the face of, kind of focusing on the grief of a loss. This is the 5 of Cups where anybody would wow. Just as I look down at this card again, I don't know what just happened. I don't know why I saw 4 cups turned over. I swear to you, I saw 4 cups turned over, and now there's 3 cups and 2 cups down. Wow. That's new. Well, that resonates with something else. Sorry, I'm I'm just kind of having an experience here. Aquarius, you're always at the forefront. You're the leaders of our advancement. And no wonder we just got that. Holy, I just received something really big there. Maybe I'll get into it in a minute. I'll stay focused on the reading. So it has shifted a little bit, but I don't think that means the story's shifted. It's almost as if I was being asked to interpret the Five of Cups differently. So I'm going to keep with that. Somebody who, at a certain point, the job isn't to console you for having experienced a disappointing loss. The job is just to give you some space to be where you need to be with that, because nobody on earth would be able to tell you what to do. Page of Coins. And that might be it. It's about considering what to do. What's the right thing to do in the face of disappointment or disappointing loss like that? That's a real question, you know, like there might be a lot of people like they're there, you know, giving you like everything's going to be okay. What can you do is really I feel like you know that, Aquarius, and I'm not going to put that on all Aquariuses, that all Aquariuses experienced a disappointing loss in 2022. I'm getting even like within the last couple months, like really recently, to the point where there would still be active grief, like daily. This is going to be a little something more about imagining how to respond in this environment. 2023 looks to be about, I see a hopeful message in here, like what can you do, you know? I think, what was it, Libra, like, you know, take a load off, take the pressure off. No one would know what to do in this scenario. What can you do? You can only do the best you can, kind of thing. Just do what comes to you. It could be that you're going to be in a position where you're going to be near someone who experiences this type of loss going forward. And it could be that you're actually I don't want to predict that for anybody's future, but it does happen. So Aquarius, you might actually be on the consoling side of things. What can you do? But rest. This is kind of taking us back to the experiencing that disappointing loss, or disappointing, like grief mixed with disappointment. And what can you do but take a load off, take a rest? That's kind of like a confirmation for that. Why are we getting such a message for Aquarius for 2023? What are we taking from that is what I want to know. What do I take from that to tell? I honestly believe that I might be speaking specifically to a grief counselor, or somebody who chooses a path as a grief counselor because they've experienced such a thing. So Aquarius, if you resonate as the one who experienced it could be that this one story is taking over everybody. It could be that, you know, we're going to do a reading for this person rather than the whole sign of Aquarius, because this is kind of a priority. If anybody understands, it's Aquarius, right? What can you do besides take a load off and, you know, just listen to your body and stuff? And it looks like this Eight of Wands, I'm just seeing you're going to be taking this experience with you and turning it into something. If you resonate and this is your message, if you're looking for hope, there might be hope in grief counseling, And then there also might be hope for you in a sense of like building a purpose out of the things that happen, that maybe there's a little bit of something for you about keeping a record of the things that you're learning right now help you, because you're going to be able to help people with that down the road who will go through this. And it's almost like the only person like, I can't understand this because, well, it's almost, it only people who have been through something similar would be able to understand it. And it's almost like if people haven't been through it, it's quite impossible to take a condolences from somebody who hasn't been through it. It's like hard to receive it. So that's interesting. We're talking about how Venus is in Aquarius right now, and it's all about receiving in the Chariot. Why would we get that? I almost feel like I need to do 2 Aquarius readings. You know that? This is a reading for somebody in particular. And I just said the thing right before I recorded here, and the people in the stream are going to know what I said. I think I need to record a reading twice. And I got that right before this reading. So I guess we're going to do Aquarius twice. Oh my goodness. 13 readings now then. It's okay. There we go. 6 of Swords. Okay. Yeah. This message is for somebody in particular. I'll post it as well, and I'll label it as Aquarius and part 1. So I actually feel like it's important for Aquarius to hear this reading too, and I'll do another Aquarius reading. We'll get into something maybe else, or maybe it's connected. But for some reason, something in this reading will be relevant as well. So I'll do a part 2. You're to take this with you. You're to take this reading with you into the next part. So I'll stop it and I'll do a part 2. Thanks so much. And if you're the one who is resonating with this, I'm getting this kind of thing that it's not that the next reading isn't for you. It's more that if you just want to like take this and keep it for a little while before you go any further into the message, that might be helpful. I don't know. For some reason, I've got this kind of like, don't overload you with information. You know, maybe anybody who's experienced this kind of grief before would understand. Okay, I'm going to stop recording, and I'll start recording the second part in just a minute. Thanks so much for watching.